Introduction to the lesson. This humorous short story follows the life of Tricki, an overindulged little dog belonging to a wealthy woman named Mrs. Pumphrey. Her constant pampering and overfeeding make Tricki dangerously unwell. In a desperate attempt to save him, she turns to a kind and experienced veterinarian. What follows is a light-hearted yet insightful account of how proper care, simple routines, and a change in environment help Tricki recover, without the need for surgery.
Summary: A Triumph of Surgery. Tricki is a small, spoiled dog who lives with his rich and loving owner, Mrs. Pumphrey. She gives in to his every whim, feeding him rich food like cakes and chocolate. One day, a veterinary surgeon named Mr. Herriot sees Tricki during a walk and is shocked to see the dog extremely overweight and lifeless. Despite his advice to cut down on food, Mrs. Pumphrey continues to pamper Tricki until he falls seriously ill. Left with no other choice, she agrees to send him to Mr. Herriot's clinic, although parting with Tricki makes her emotional. At the clinic, Tricki gets no special treatment, just simple food, regular walks, and time to mingle with other dogs. At first, he is inactive and refuses to eat, but within a few days, he begins to show signs of energy and improvement. Soon, he is playing, eating normally, and behaving like a healthy dog. Meanwhile, Mrs. Pumphrey sends over eggs, wine, and even brandy for Tricki, thinking these will help him recover. Instead, the vet and his staff enjoy these luxuries, making light of the situation. Eventually, once Tricki has fully recovered, Mr. Herriot decides to send him back. Mrs. Pumphrey is overjoyed to have her pet back in good health and expresses deep gratitude, calling it a triumph of surgery, unaware that the real cure was simply balanced care and controlled feeding. A Triumph of Surgery कहानी का सारांश, हिंदी में। कहानी की शुरुआत एक अमीर महिला श्रीमती पंफ्रे से होती है, जो अपने पालतू कुत्ते ट्रिकी को टहलाने के लिए बाहर ले जाती है। एक पशु चिकित्सक, डॉक्टर हेरियट, जो उन्हें पहले से जानते हैं, ट्रिकी को देखकर हैरान रह जाते हैं क्योंकि वह बहुत मोटा हो गया था और एक फूले हुए सॉसेज जैसा दिख रहा था। डॉक्टर हेरियट उन्हें सलाह देते हैं कि ट्रिकी को मिठाइयाँ और भारी भोजन देना बंद कर दें, लेकिन श्रीमती पंफ्रे अपने प्यारे कुत्ते को मना नहीं कर पाती। जल्द ही ट्रिकी बीमार पड़ जाता है और डॉक्टर को बुलाया जाता है। डॉक्टर हेरियट उसे अस्पताल, सर्जरी, ले जाने का सुझाव देते हैं। श्रीमती पंफ्रे इसके लिए तैयार नहीं थीं, लेकिन मजबूरी में ट्रिकी को भेजना पड़ता है। अस्पताल में शुरू के 2 दिन ट्रिकी कुछ नहीं खाता और ज्यादा हिलता डुलता भी नहीं है। लेकिन तीसरे दिन वह अन्य कुत्तों के साथ बाहर खेलने लगता है और उनके बर्तन भी साफ कर देता है। धीरे धीरे उसकी हालत में सुधार आने लगता है। वह खुद खाने के लिए उत्साहित हो जाता है और बाकी कुत्तों के साथ लड़ने भी लगता है। जब श्रीमती पंफ्रे को ट्रिकी के स्वास्थ्य में सुधार की खबर मिलती है, तो वह उसे ताकत देने के लिए अंडे, वाइन और ब्रांडी भेजने लगती है। हालांकि ये सब चीजें ट्रिकी को नहीं दी जातीं, बल्कि डॉक्टर और उनके साथी इन चीजों का आनंद लेते हैं। डॉक्टर मजाक में सोचते हैं कि ट्रिकी को हमेशा के लिए वहीं रख लें क्योंकि उन्हें हर दिन अंडे, वाइन और ब्रांडी मिल रही थी। लेकिन अंत में डॉक्टर हेरियट एक सही निर्णय लेते हैं और श्रीमती पंफ्रे को फोन करके ट्रिकी को वापस बुला लेते हैं। ट्रिकी अपनी मालकिन को देखकर बहुत खुश होता है और कार में कूद जाता है। श्रीमती पंफ्रे बहुत भावुक हो जाती हैं और डॉक्टर का आभार व्यक्त करते हुए कहती हैं कि यह एक सर्जरी की जीत, अ ट्रायम्फ ऑफ सर्जरी, है।
The story's central theme is blind love for the person we cherish most. Mrs. Pumphrey was unaware that Tricki got into problems due to her irrational and unrelenting devotion to him. Tricki became ill and developed a disease as a result of receiving too much love. Q1. Read the following extracts and answer the questions. The expected call came within a few days. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught. Tricki would eat nothing. Refused even his favorite dishes, and besides he had bouts of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on a rug, panting. Didn't want to go for walks, didn't want to do anything. I had made my plans in advance. The only way was to get Tricki out of the house for a period. I suggested that he be hospitalized for about a fortnight to be kept under observation. 2024. Which of the following is not a reason why Mr. Herriot thinks Tricki needs to be taken out of the house for a period? A. He wanted to keep Tricki away from Mrs. Pumphrey. B. He wanted to keep Tricki under observation. C. He wanted to do an experiment on Tricki. D. He wanted to improve Tricki's health. Answer. C. 2. What was the main reason for Mrs. Pumphrey to be distraught? Answer in about 40 words. Answer. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught because Tricki, her beloved pet, was refusing to eat, vomiting frequently, and showing signs of illness, which deeply concerned her about his health and well-being. 3. State true or false. When Mr. Herriot says, "I had made my plans in advance," what he actually means is, he had already seen this trauma coming for Tricki. Answer. True. 4. Which of the following best describes Mrs. Pumphrey? A. Unkind and inconsiderate. B. Impractical but compassionate. C. Anxious and ambitious. D. Fearful but confident. Answer. B. Q2. What does Mr. Herriot mean by happy period for himself and his partners? Explain. 2024, 4250 words. Answer. The happy period was the time when the surgery was flooded with delicacies sent by Mrs. Pumphrey. She sent in a lot of items like eggs, wine and brandy for Tricki. However, the doctor did not feed the entire stuff to Tricki. Instead, the entire surgery had lavish feasts and enjoyed. Q3. We are often overindulgent towards people we care about. Explain with reference to the context of the story, A Triumph of Surgery. 2024, 4250 words. Answer. In the story we see the mistress Mrs. Pumphrey shows a lot of affection towards her pet. Her excessive pampering leads to an overweight and lethargic Tricki. This shows how our affection can cloud our rationality and lead to our own destruction. One has to balance love and wisdom to ensure a healthy pet.